Well, President Trump announces new measures to clean up Washington, D.C., one of which involves federalizing D.C. police. One America's chief White House correspondent, Daniel Baldwin, is live from the White House. Daniel, good to see you on this Monday. President Trump announced new measures to clean up Washington, D.C., one of which involves federalizing D.C. What can you tell us about that? You were in the room as the president spoke earlier today. I think that went on for more than an hour. I watched it live.
It did, Stella. I was in that room for the better part of 5 straight hours.
Wow.
But the bottom line is yeah, I know. Good thing I wore my comfy shoes today. But the bottom line is the president is taking 2 crucial actions to try to clean up D.C. and help beautify it. First and foremost, he's invoking Section 740A of the D.C. Home Rule Act. And what that does is if the president declares a crime emergency, it gives the president the authority to sort of run the D.C. police for the better part of 48 hours. And if he sends a written notice to certain congressional leaders at Congress, he can extend that control over the D.C. police force for up to 30 days. That's the first thing that he did. The second thing is he's deputizing the National Guard here in D.C. and deploying them throughout the streets. Those are the 2 main actionable items that the president is doing here today in order to take control of what he believes is an out-of-control crime spree here in Washington, D.C. I have a few statistics I want to rattle off for you here, Stella. Crime in D.C. in the year of 2025, year to date, 99 homicides, more than 800 robberies, more than 1,500 total violent crimes, and total crimes in general are more than 15,000 so far here in 2025. The bottom line is that a lot of people, if you would ask them here who live in D.C., they probably wouldn't feel comfortable letting a family member walk home alone at night here in the city. And that's sort of the point that the president was getting at. But more importantly, too, he also emphasized that the state of the city and the way it looks and how clean and how safe it is a direct reflection on how the United States is run. I was blessed enough to ask the president about that correlation, and he gave a very interesting response that I want to highlight here. Why don't we take a listen?
It's a very, very strong reflection of our country. And when they see a bad city, you know, my father always used to tell me, I had a wonderful father, very smart, and he used to say, son, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty, and they don't respect us. So
Now, many people are criticizing this, Stella. There's been some protests throughout the city, but I do want to highlight that a certain type of federalization of D.C. is not necessarily unprecedented. I want to call you back to 1995. Back then, former President Bill Clinton in Congress worked to create this thing called the D.C. Control Board. And this board received 5 presidential appointees. Former President Clinton appointed 5 different members to run this board to sort of tackle spiraling financial problems and crime problems that D.C. had. And this D.C. Control Board actually got to overrule any types of decisions that the D.C. Council made if it didn't agree with it. And many people who were working on the Hill back then, one of them told me that they believed that this between 1995 and 2001, when this control board was operational, they viewed it as a mini Gilded Age for Washington, D.C. This control board is actually dormant at this point in time, but it just goes to show you that there has been some types of examples of the federal government stepping in to solve rampant issues in D.C., and those examples have actually produced success, because in the years where the D.C. Control Board controlled D.C., crime actually dipped significantly, and the financial state of the district became a little bit more salvageable as well. So there is precedent to doing something like this, and everything the president is doing falls within the purviews of the D.C. Home Rule Act of 1973, which was passed to give D.C. constituents a little bit more representation. It gives them the ability to elect a mayor, D.C. City Council, but of course the president believes that more federal action is necessary to solve what he believes to be a rampant crime issue in our nation's capital. Stella.
I mean, it is the nation's capital. You want to be able to go there and you want to be able to enjoy, like they talked about in this press conference, the museums, the zoos, all the historic buildings, the White House behind you, and feel safe. Like the last time I went to D.C., I had people say, hey, be careful. Don't go to this street. Don't go to that street. And as I drove around, I was like, looks kind of safe, but then you see pockets of homelessness, people doing drugs, and, you know, it brings me back to like what happened in Los Angeles. You have like downtown LA, you have the Staples Center, which is beautiful over there, and then you have Skid Row just down the street. This is the nation's capital, and to what the president was saying is if the nation's capital is dirty, then the rest of the country looks just like that. And he also talked about how he's about to have an upcoming meeting with President Putin, and he's like, you think I want to be standing here and talking about this?
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.